Glad to be here with you all. I hope everyone is doing okay today. Wherever you might be, I hope that you're safe. And I hope things are going okay for you. Today we're going to be talking about facing your own reflection to do better tomorrow. No matter what you're going through, whether it's drug addiction or any other problems you might be having, or maybe you're still battling being on drugs, we will not judge you here. We are here to help you. So stick around, and hopefully the message that I deliver this evening will help you in one way or another.
Windows Media Player 01. Windows.
We'll stop that.
Download folder.
Alright, so I'm going to pull up.
Narrator. Notepad. Untitled Notepad. Maximum. Untitled Note.
Alright, I've got a notepad pulled up here. I feel like some of the things that I talk about, I can write it down. You can see it. You can copy it. Maybe, I don't know if it'll let you do that, like if you copy with a mouse or not. But you can write down some of this stuff. Folks, nobody's perfect. Nobody. Not you, not me, not even the founders of YouTube or anyone else. Nobody is perfect. And I think sometimes we forget that when we're going through hard times or we make a mistake, we feel awful. And I think sometimes we feel like we are beneath other people. But you're not. We're not. No one is better than the person next door. You know, you might have a neighbor that drives a brand new Mercedes. Maybe they own a yacht. Maybe they own 2 or 3 houses. Who knows? And here you are going to work every day, 5 days a week, 40 hours a week. Working hard to barely get by. You're still no different. They're no better. No better whatsoever. You know, growing up, I dealt with being judged so many times. Over and over and over, I dealt with it. And that's not easy. That is not easy at all.
Windows Media Op Studio.
I'm going to make sure we don't got no echo.
Studio mode check. Settings. Studio mode checkbox check. Not check.
One, check at studio mode. That way it's not sounding like an echo. That should have helped that.
Untitled Notepad. Text editor. Edit multi.
But yeah, I've been through being judged. People judge me for being blind. People judge me for, I don't know, you know, in school maybe I didn't wear the most popular clothes, or I didn't wear the right kind of shoes. You know, when I was going through school, I didn't wear everything name brand. I would have loved to, but I didn't. But that's all that could be afforded. That's all that my mom could afford at the time. And even though at that time I was probably a little mad about it, thinking, man, I want to be like everybody else. I was always worried about staying up with everybody else. Oh man, my neighbor got a new bike. I want a new bike. Oh man, that guy over there across the road from me won the lottery. I want to win the lottery. Or man, they got a lot more money than I do. I want to make a lot of money. All these things. All these materialistic things. That doesn't make anyone better than another person. Not at all. Not even by a percentage. Not even 1%. And I really want to get that in your guys' head so that you understand when you are going through hard times, take away the thoughts of you not being good enough. Because that's not true. No matter who you are, where you are, or what you've been through, nobody's perfect. You know, I've met a lot of people that have went through drug addiction. I know some that are still facing the addiction. But that doesn't mean that's who that person is. Oh, they're doing drugs, they're just a druggie, they're no good. That's not true. Who are we, who are you, to judge somebody else's lifestyle? You ever hear the saying, worry about your own porch before you start trying to clean somebody else's off? My family always told me that. Johnny, clean off your own porch. Don't be worrying about other people's. They got to do that themselves. I know that it is so easy. So easy to go down the wrong path. It's not hard to do. And we've all done it. If someone was to look at you and say, well, I've never made mistakes in my life. I've never went down the wrong path in my life. I've got it all figured out. Do me a favor and ask them if they'll write that down for us. Because we want to put that up here on the board. That way we always know that Tommy Toes over there never made a mistake, never went down the wrong road. Okay? The one thing I will never do here at the lounge, I'll never judge you. I will not criticize you. I will not put you down. I will not criticize you to others. I will not belittle you. And I would like to ask all of you, the viewers, to give that same amount of respect, please. So as the title said, we're talking about reflection. And you might be asking, well, what do you mean by reflection, John? What are you talking about? Something that a lot of people do every day. Some people actually don't. But a lot of people, they get up, they take a shower, they'll brush their teeth, and they'll gaze at themselves in the mirror. And that's what I'm asking you to do today. I don't mean run to the bathroom and look in the mirror. I want you to look in the mirror mentally. Virtually, so to speak. And where I want you to be, whether you're there at this second or not, I want you to be at the point where you can look in the mirror and remind yourself how wonderful you are, how great you are, how smart you are, how beautiful you are. Reminding yourself that you will succeed. You will get that job. You will get that car. You will get that promotion. I want you to give yourself positive thoughts while going through these hard times. Positive thoughts, my friends. I'm going to write it down. Number 1. Good thoughts about yourself. That is so important, and I know a lot of people a lot of times overlook that. If I could get everybody to go through the exercises that I've gave to other people that have done it, and it's helped them a lot. I did it. It helped me a lot. You'd be amazed with how much it would help you if you actually did it. And if you stick around the video, I'm going to talk about that here a little bit later. Okay, positive thoughts and putting yourself through an exercise that you'll do every day. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So number 1.
1. Good thoughts about yourself.
Good thoughts about yourself.
What?
That is so important. You know, there are actually people that won't look in the mirror because they don't like who they are. So let me ask you, do you like who you are? Are you happy with who you are? I'm hoping that everybody's saying yes. But I know that there's always going to be that one person, maybe two, who knows, that is saying, no, I don't like who I am. Or I don't like what I look like. Well, it's time to go up to step 1 and start giving yourself positive thoughts. Because there's nothing wrong with you. You just got to make a couple changes to make your life more positive. Maybe you are going through drug addiction. You can get through this, my friend. I hope that I can be a reason to motivate you to do this. But ultimately, you can get through this. Like I said earlier, when I was growing up, I didn't want to change. I didn't want to be that better person. I didn't want to accept that I was visually impaired. I didn't want to accept that I was different from other people because of my vision and because of me having a disability. For the longest time, I had that attitude. And while I had that attitude, it got me nowhere. As a matter of fact, the only place that it got me was dead-end roads every way I turned. I was drinking every night. Not literally every night, but every weekend I was drinking and partying. And I was reminding myself that I'm no different than anybody else. I don't have a vision problem. I don't have a disability. But later in life, I came to accept the fact that my disability doesn't define who I am. You having a drug addiction does not define who you are. That only defines that you're going through something that no one else understands. That defines that you're having a hard time in your life. But it doesn't define who you are. It doesn't define where you're going to be tomorrow. Well, let me take that last statement back, because being on drug addiction, that kind of does define where you are tomorrow if you continue it. So I said that one wrong. Okay. But because you're on drugs or because you're going through addiction, that doesn't mean your life every day tomorrow, every day ahead of you is going to be horrible. It's when you start making changes in your life, positive changes in your life, that's when you'll be able to look back. You'll be able to look at your reflection and define who you are because of the changes that you're making about yourself. If someone wants to judge you, let them. Let them judge you. But you need to be looking back at them saying, go ahead. Because you don't know me. And you judge me doesn't define where I'm going to be tomorrow. We all go through different struggles in life. And nobody has a right to judge you for what you're going through. And that's right. Even when it's you that made the choices. You made the choice to do something that was wrong. That doesn't make you a bad person. That makes you human. For the longest time, I had the same attitude. But it changed when I started doing exactly what number 1 says here on this list. When I started giving myself positive thoughts. And I started looking at where I was. And I started looking at the logic in where I was. And I knew logically that if I didn't change my attitude, didn't change how I felt about myself, that life would never get better. And I'll tell anyone that tonight, right here, right now, that if you at least don't go through and try to do better, then no, it's always going to be the same for you. And that really upsets me, and it bothers me that anybody would do that. But I need you to come to reality with yourself and say, okay, what do I got to do? What do I got to do to change my life for the better? How do I get away from these drugs? I don't want drugs to rule my life. I don't want drugs to run my life. I don't want my past to run my life. That's what you need to be saying. What I want you to do.
Start Untitled Notepad. Start Untitled Notepad.
Hold on, folks. I got to plug in my headset here or I'm not going to have no audio. Let me get that plugged in real quick. I'm going to write down this next step, and I want you to do this. Every morning, I want you to do this. And I'm just taking your word. I'm going to just trust that you're going to follow me on this, and you're going to do this. And I hope that you do.
Blank. 1. Blank.
I really do. Number 2. Every morning that you get up. So I'm going to write it down. Every morning that I wake up,
P.
I will give myself 5 minutes.
Positive. O-S-S-I-S. Positive. Of. Positive. Positive. E. Blank.
Of positive thinking.
2. Every morning that I wake up, I will give myself 5 minutes of positive thinking.
Every morning that I wake up, I will give myself 5 minutes of positive thinking. Write it down. Every morning that I get up, I'm going to give myself 5 minutes of positive thinking. Now, there's a lot of things you could do with that. I would recommend doing it even right when you open your eyes. You could do it even before you crawl out of the bed. As you're laying there, waking up, you could be giving yourself these positive thoughts. Now, I know what someone's going to say. Well, I don't know what to tell myself. I don't know what to say. Yeah, you do. And if you don't,
blank, 2, every morning, blank.
I'm going to give you a couple things here. I'm going to label these A, B, and C. Okay? I want you guys, you should at least be reminding yourself of these things right here.
A.
A. I'll put a little
colon
swiggly there. Okay. So A.
W. O. H.
I can't type. B. C. I'll fix that in a minute. I'll go back and fix this in a minute. C. All right. So I've got 3 things here that just something for you to start with.
B, that I am. A, how smart I am.
A. Remind yourself how smart you are. So when you wake up, you're going to... This is going to be me in the morning. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to remind myself how smart I am.
B, that I am beautiful.
I'm going to remind myself that I am beautiful.
C, I will succeed.
And C, I'm going to remind myself that I will succeed.
C, I will succeed.
These are 3 important things that you truly should feel good about yourself. Now, obviously, I'm not going to go up to people and say, hey, how do you feel about how you look? Because that's a personal thought. And it'd sound kind of silly for me. Go up to somebody and say, hey, I'm just curious, how do you feel about your looks? Right? But to you, on a personal level, it makes 100% sense. Right? Let me...
B, that I, C, I will succeed. Blank, space, 6, will, C, space.
I'm going to put my little
colon, space.
mark there. C colon.
B, space, B, space.
B colon.
B, C, colon, C, colon, C, B, A, how smart, colon, A.
So we got A, B, and C.
A, how smart I am.
How smart I am.
B, that I am beautiful.
That I am beautiful.
C, I will succeed.
I will succeed.
C, I will succeed. Space, will, space, blank.
And really, there's another one that I think
D.
should be on this list.
N, space, colon. N, space, M. D, I am important just like everyone else.
I am important just like everyone else.
Blank.
Now, there's a lot of things you could tell yourself. You got to connect with yourself on other things you might be going through. Maybe you're trying to get a house. Maybe you live in a house that you're not happy with. Remind yourself that you're going to get that house that you want. You're going to get that car that you want. You're going to get that job that you want. That you will succeed. The more that you do this, folks, I promise you, the more that your reflection will be much clearer. It will be a reflection that you can look at and be proud of. I didn't intend on going through my life story. I've done it before. But I think I need to. I think I need to go over that a little bit just to give you guys a good idea of how it worked out for me. I'm going to turn up my heat here. Hold on one second. It is cold outside today, folks. There we go. I am here to first and foremost tell you that I go through struggles just like anyone else. And growing up was a really rough struggle for me. I started out at a blind school. No, let's start over. I started out at a regular school, public school. Then I got sent to a blind school. Then I went back to public school. Then I went back to the blind school. And then I left. At 16, I had it all figured out. And I left. And that's when I was telling myself that I don't have no disability. Doctors don't know what they're talking about. Even though at 16, 17, and 18, I couldn't legally go and get my license to drive. That should have been the first sign right there. But in my mind, there was nothing wrong. Matter of fact, I was driving illegally. All over the place. I did that for a couple years. And today I thank God that nothing ever happened to me because I drove everywhere. And not even knowing it, I probably came close to, endangering other people's lives and not even thinking about it. And the most I can do is thank God today that nothing happened. I will be turning on the chat here in a little bit. But I'd like to get through the main discussion here first. So, at 16, I dropped out. I said I was done. I'm not going to school no more. I don't need to go to school. And up until, about 15, I was out of my mom's home. 14, I forget. Anyways, I was out. Had nowhere to go. So I started sleeping from door to door. Sleeping on a couch wherever I could find one. Go to somebody's house and ask them, hey, can I stay all night? Not even barely know the person. It was the worst feeling in the world. And I'll never forget it. But I learned a lot from all these things that I'm sharing with you. It was when I was 21, almost 22, I met a girl on Chatter, Yahoo Chatter. And she came to Indiana. She got pregnant. And I married her. And that was when I stopped. And reality was finally sinking in. I said, Johnny, you know what, man? Now you got a kid on the way. You got a wife. That's a new responsibility all by itself. was a huge responsibility. And I ended up changing. It wasn't perfect. We got married. I moved to Ohio. I was married for 10 years. Got divorced when my kids got older. But through that whole period of time, I was doing positive things to improve my life. It's when I decided that I needed to be positive about where I was going and what I was doing. And when I started doing that, when I started becoming positive about who I was and what I needed to do, I mean, yes, I still had rough times. I mean, no matter what you do, even when you're positive, you'll always run into something in life that might be a little rough. But we just got to figure it out and keep going. I finally ended up going back to school, got my diploma. And then in 2016, I said, you know what, Johnny? Being visually impaired, you're on a monthly income. You don't have a career to depend on. Not much money to do anything with. That's got to change. I've got to change that. So I created myself a goal chart. Now I'm going to write that down.
Land. 1. Create a goal chart. Land.
Create a goal chart. We'll talk about that more here in just a little bit. I said, I need to create some goals to improve my life. Instead of just putting the thoughts in my mind, right? So that's exactly what I did. I started creating goals. I started college in 2017. I got my degree in criminal justice. I got a degree in psychology. Another one in general studies. And now I'm getting ready. Into next year, I'll have my bachelor's degree in psychology. All these things that I did was, getting my degrees, going to college. That's all part of my goal chart. I've got one goal left. And the entire goal chart for college is completed. I've got 2 more goals on that list. I've not got to them yet, but I'm not far off. I have a goal to establish a successful career, and I have a goal to buy a giant house. I like big homes. I like my space, and that's one of my goals. And I'll have more goals as well, but you got to start small. When I was younger, like I said, I would drink. I smoked pot. I tried other drugs. And I turned all that around. because of the positive thinking. And you can too. You can turn it all around no matter what you've been through or what you're going through. My friends, I believe in every one of you. I believe that anyone can succeed. You just got to change what you're doing. You caught what I said, right? Change what you're doing, not who you are. Be happy about who you are. Be disappointed in what you're doing. So before I go any further, I'm going to turn on the chat and see if anybody's got any comments or questions. I would love to hear stories. If anybody's got any story they'd like to share, I'd love to hear that. Maybe you could even come on the show sometime. That's up to you. We can work out the details. So I'm going to turn on the chat.
Folder view. Restream chat 32 of.
Here we go.
Restream chat row 1 column 1. Type a message. Clickable menu. Disable button. Enable button. Star untitled note. Star untitled.
All right, there we go. Chat is enabled, so if you're chatting in the window, I should hear it. When the chat's not on, when I don't have the chat window turned on my end, I don't see anything that you guys are saying, so I had to turn that on in order for me to hear it. So there might already be chat there, but if there is, I'm not seeing that. I can't look at the old messages, so. Listen, I just know how important it is to me knowing that any one of you, even if you're going through hard times, drug addiction, I understand some levels of drug addiction and drinking that requires more than just a video, more than just me talking. You might need to, enroll yourself into AA, or you might need to go and, get with a drug addiction specialist and maybe, get on some, medicated, drug recovery. If you do, I just ask you that you don't abuse that. Use it the right way. I mean, that alone will change your life. But I'd really like to see you guys, those that's going through hard times, I would like to see you go through, and follow some of these things that I wrote down
1.
here.
Good thoughts about yourself.
Good thoughts about yourself.
Plan. 2. Every morning that I wake up, I will give myself.
Each morning, do these little exercises.
2. Every morning that I wake up, I will give myself 5 minutes of positive thinking.
5 minutes of positive
A.
thinking.
How smart I am.
How smart
B.
I
That I am
am.
beautiful.
That I am beautiful.
C. I will succeed.
That I will
D.
succeed.
I am important just like everyone else.
That I am important just like everyone else.
Plan.
Follow those little exercises.
1. Create a goal chart.
Create yourself a goal chart.
Plan.
I'm getting ready to talk about that, and I hope it can help you. I know that it can, but the only way it's going to help you is if you actually do it. So on the goal chart, to make it simple, start with a simple goal. That way you can understand how the system works. Write that goal down. I'm going to put down here an example of how I did it.
1. Plan.
All right, so I'd write down goals. Underneath, I'd write number 1. Go back to college. That was my first goal. Okay? Now on that.
1. Plan. 1. Go back to college. Plan.
I spelled college wrong.
Back to go. O space L L L O space L space college.
Well, I had a space in there.
Land.
Go back to college. So that's my first go. And under that, what you do is for each go, you might have things you need to do. So like under number 1, going back to college, A, contact the college I'm
I
interested in going to. Right? That's the first thing I got to do.
A land.
B, sign up. C, complete all application information to get started. That's just examples of what you do with the goal. You have your goal, and then you have the steps that you need to do to complete that goal.
C, complete land.
Let's say, go to here, number 2. Get a job, right? A, look online for ads. B, learn how to write a resume. C,
A R P.
practice doing interviews with myself.
C, practice doing interviews with myself. Land.
D, turn in applications to jobs I find that are open. Right?
D, turn in applications to jobs to find that are open. Land. Care O R that A jobs A find A job 2 jobs A space A H A space that find space F F. Land. D, turn in applications to jobs that I find that are open. Land.
Okay? So there's all these things that you put under each go, and you just check them off as you do it. It's really simple. And don't say, well, I just, I can remember all of it. That's not the way the system works. You got to write it down. It's got to be something that you can see with your own eyes. Okay? So write it on paper. Put it on your computer. I always put mine on my computer because that's where I always was doing stuff.
Land. D, turn in app. Land.
All these things that you do right now. All these things. If you do these things right here, if you create a goal chart.
1. Good thoughts about yourself.
If you keep good thoughts about
Land.
yourself.
2. Every morning that I.
If you wake up in the morning and do the mind exercises.
A. How smart. 2. Every morning that I wake up, I will give myself 5 minutes of positive thinking.
Give yourself 5 minutes of positive thinking every morning that you wake up.
A. How smart I am.
Again, how smart I
B.
am.
That I am beautiful.
That I am beautiful.
C. I will succeed.
That I will succeed.
D. I am important just like everyone
that I'm
else.
important just like everyone else. Or anything else you want to add to that. 5 minutes. Roughly 5 minutes. Okay? You can do it in bed. You can do it while you're in the shower. You can say it out loud to yourself. You can say it under your breath to yourself. However you want to do it. But do it. And keep doing it. Do it every single day. Guys, I can't stress how important this really is. And I know a lot of people blow it off. They think, oh, he's full of crap. That don't do nothing. I promise you with 100% certainty that alone, them mind exercises will change your life forever. That is a fact. Because I do it. Now, of course, now I just wake up and automatically I've got positive thoughts running through my mind about myself. It really changes the way that you tackle your day when you wake up in the morning. It truly, truly changes tomorrow. It truly does. I don't want to go on too much and press it too hard. So that's where we're going to leave it. But at the end of the week, this will change your reflection. Because the way you reflect right now is totally different from the way you reflect when you start doing this. Guys, I truly hope
Restream chat row. Ops 28.0.
that this helped you. I hope that it helped you better understand that you are just as good as anyone else.
Set studio mode checkbox not. Start recording checkbox not.
Even if I
Stop
don't
streaming
know
checkbox
you
check.
personally, I believe in you.
Start restream. GCE Windows Media Player row.
I believe in
Ops
who you
28.0.
are,
Ops 20.
and I believe in where you're going. I believe that if you continue to give yourself positive thoughts, if you follow through with the goal chart, if you do the mind exercises, and you start giving yourself positive things in your life, positive, you guys, it will change your life forever. No matter what you are going through, no matter what you've been through, I believe in your success for tomorrow. Guys, I love every one of you guys.
Stop streaming checkbox.
I hope that this will help you. I hope that you will just take a minute and give this a chance. Give me a chance to help you, because that's what I want. I want to see you succeed. No one deserves to be unhappy. Stick with me, because I'm out to help you and everyone else. I'm out to create a better future for tomorrow.